again, it has been a little bit of a while since I've actually introed a video before I started reading the books. I always just get too ahead of myself and don't prepare properly to start these videos. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? I'm excited for today's video. I was about to say I'm gonna be doing some mood reading as if I haven't been doing mood reading like this entire time. For me personally, I feel like my summer is coming to an end, even though we're literally in the middle of July. I can just feel the summer days waning, the drama. So I thought it would be fun to sort of focus on reading my summer TBR for a little bit. Let's do a little recap of the books that I had on my summer TBR. We had The Inheritance Games, Funny Story, which I have already read. And then we have Hotel Magnifique, Cinder, The Do-Over, Redeeming Love, The Simple Truth, and The Goldfinch. So I've already read 2 out of the 8 books. I am reading Redeeming Love for a different video. So that's 3 out of the 8. And guys, let's just be honest. I am not going to read The Simple Truth or The Goldfinch. I'm just not. Let's be so for real right now. That means there are only 3 books left on my summer TBR. That's how the math works, right? These are the next few books I'm gonna be reading. I've decided I'm gonna read Cinder first, just because I'm kind of a little bit in the mood for fantasy. I just read 3 romance books, so I'm in the mood for a little bit of a fantasy, because you know I'm a fantasy girly. This one is a Cinderella retelling. She's a cyborg. This is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I have quite a few books by her on my TBR. Quite a few on my physical TBR because I have her Renegades trilogy. This is what I'm gonna get started with today. Let's get started. I read Cinder for about an hour today. I made it to page 86. The margins are huge and the space between words is so huge because it's like, oh my gosh, you read 86 pages in less than an hour. But like, look how few words are on these pages. Like, it's not that crazy, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's giving, yes, overall it's a fantasy, but it's also giving like major dystopian vibes, and I love dystopian, and so I'm really enjoying this. Let's keep cracking on. I have a theory about Cinder. I have a theory. I'm low-key like thinking I might try to finish it tonight. I'm reading it so quickly. I'm on page 558. Prince Kai has my heart. Oh my gosh, he's so sweet. This is a terrible angle. Last night I finished Cinder. I read it in 2 days, which is crazy. I loved it. And then I immediately went on Amazon to find that the entire series is on Kindle Unlimited. So I don't have to worry about needing to buy new books in order to be able to read the rest of the series because, oh my gosh, I loved this book so much. Kai is just the sweetest and he like pays attention. And her stepmom and stepsister are the worst, obviously. I mean, it's a Cinderella retelling. That's gonna happen. Now it is time to start the do-over, which I'm super excited. It's got stenciled edges. Oh, this is like a Groundhog's Day situation. Meaning that like, I'm pretty sure it's the main girl. She relives this day over and over again. And I think it's Valentine's Day. It's a couple hours later. And we're still on day 1. Of like the Groundhog's Day situation. I love the stenciled edges. They're so pretty. But I'm still so confused as to how this is gonna work out. Just gonna have to read and find out. I am loving this book. I'm giggling, having the best time, and then every so often I'll start singing Taylor Swift songs because so far the amount of Taylor Swift references that I found have been 4. Like the one I just read was, he read me the poem he'd written, saying I fit into his poem like the perfect rhyme. Fit in my poems like a perfect rhyme. I guess we fell apart in the usual way, and the story's got dust on every page. Holy ground. T-Swizzle. I finished the do-over this afternoon. I sat down and just read 200 pages all at once. Was I supposed to be packing things and getting things done? Yes. Oops. It was so cute. I loved it. I love Nick. And I love Emily too. But now I am gonna start Hotel Magnifique, which I'm super excited about. I think it's gonna be really good. How did I not see this coming? I'm 85 86 pages into Hotel Magnifique. I just had no idea. My brain just turns off when I read. Just here for the vibes. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not as into this book as I thought I was going to be. I'm just not as into this book as I thought I was going to be. And it's really like the timing is throwing me off because like the first 100-ish pages took place over like maybe 48 hours. And then all of a sudden at like page like 130, it's like time jump 5 weeks later. And there's so many names and I just can't keep them all straight. And just some things that are confusing in a way that I don't think that they're supposed to be confusing. Like, am I just not in the mood for this? Or am I like not actually liking it? I've been in the mood to read a thriller for like the past week. I don't really read that many thrillers. I haven't read that many. But for some reason in like the past week, I've just for some reason been in the mood to read a thriller recently. But I haven't been reading any thrillers. Like I've been keeping myself from reading thrillers because also like at the same time, like I'm living alone in my house. And I'm like, and I bet if I read a thriller, it's gonna freak me out. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. But my mom does come tomorrow. So maybe I can like start a thriller tonight. Because I imagine it probably wouldn't get too crazy. Should I just start a thriller? Okay, it has been a while since I filmed anything for this video. I ended up actually soft DNFing Hotel Magnifique. It really didn't have anything to do with the actual book itself, but I've said this in a couple of my other videos. I, for some reason, was just in such a mood to read a thriller. And I was reading Hotel Magnifique because I didn't want to read a thriller. Well, I had really been wanting to read a thriller the entire time I was filming this video. Like even before I started reading Cinder, I just really wanted to read a thriller. But just as I went on reading these books, like it just got worse and worse. And so finally, like when I was reading Hotel Magnifique, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to read a thriller right now. Which was interesting because I don't really read thrillers much. I could probably count on one hand the amount of thrillers I've read during my reading journey. And so it was interesting that I just so desperately wanted to read a thriller. So I ended up soft DNFing Hotel Magnifique once I decided that it was like okay for me to read a thriller. I didn't want to like rate it poorly just because the entire time I was reading it, I wanted to read something else. So we read Cinder, which I loved. I 100% anticipate the Lunar Chronicles becoming a 5-star series. I read The Do-Over, which was okay. Wasn't my most favorite YA romance I've ever read, but there wasn't anything like I outright hated about it or anything. So I rated Cinder a 4.5 stars, The Do-Over a 3.5 stars, a 3 stars. I can't really remember, so I'll put it here. And then Hotel Magnifique, I gave a soft DNF. There is me reading through my summer TBR. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you guys enjoyed this type of content. What has been your most favorite book that you have read this summer of 2024? Subscribe to my channel for more bookish content in the future. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.